wait.
Just wait.
Just sit right there. Just sit right there, Gordon. Sit all the way down. In my final act of good trouble, I will not be telling my recovery story. Gordon would expect no less, right? Today, I'm going to be telling a story about an unlikely friendship, about a man who led a movement for the last 8 years, a man that I have come to call many things over the last 8 years, but most importantly, my friend. When I start talking about Gordon, folks usually expect me to talk about legislation, about the bills, the committees, the meetings, the late night emails, text messages, the policy victories, and those things matter. Both Gordon and I have dedicated our entire careers to those things. Those are the things that have saved and continue to save thousands of Mainers every single day and over the years. But they are not what I think about when I first think about Gordon. I think about a friendship, an unlikely friendship built between two people who come from very different places over the course of 8 years. I think about the first time I met him. Governor Mills had recently appointed him, and he showed up to a meeting about recovery housing. Today, that doesn't seem weird. Then it did. I remember going home afterwards and writing what I thought was a brilliant Facebook post. There would be many more after that. Ask Gordon. It said, Governor Mills sent her top dog to a meeting about recovery housing. I still laugh every single time Facebook pulls that memory up because I had no idea that that person I called the governor's top dog, would become somebody who had shaped my leadership more than almost anyone else in my life, and all of our leadership in the state of Maine. And not because we agreed all the time, because we in fact did not. We argued a lot, we debated bills, we debated strategy, we debated philosophy, we debated what was the best way forward to save the people's lives that both of us were trying to save, that every single person in this room were trying to save. More than once we sat around a diner table, I won't tell you which one because I'd like to have those meetings after he's retired, for hours arguing about absolutely everything. By the end of the day, I don't think either of us ever changed our mind about very little, but we always left smiling. There was a time I literally chased him around the State House because he had just talked to legislators about a bill. I'd wait around the corner until he walked away and then immediately go up to those lawmakers and try to convince them to come back to our side. I think he actually won that round. And then there was LD 1714, which directed cannabis tax revenue to recovery communities all across Maine. I see you in the back, you fought with us. And early in that debate, he looked me straight in the eyes and said there was absolutely no way we were gonna get that bill funded. We did. I have reminded him every single chance I have, every single chance I've gotten since. There was a hearing in front of the HHS committee that we were all debating bills, and maybe Ron's here, he was at that hearing. And at one point, Gordon looked the committee dead in the face and said something along the effects of, "This is just a family tiff. We'll work it out." He was right. Sometimes he is right. Somewhere between all of those debates and all of those hearings, something changed. The relationship became more important than the argument. One of the things that Gordon always says to me, and probably to many of you, is that you can disagree without being disagreeable. I've carried those words with me for years because they're about so much more than politics. They're about the legacy that Gordon will leave behind. They're about leadership, they're about community, and they're about how we choose to treat each other each and every single day. They remind us that we can believe deeply and our values without questioning each other's humanity. We can fight passionately for what we believe is right without the person across the table becoming our enemy. We can leave a meeting still disagreeing and being friends. And in today's world, that almost feels radical. A few years ago, I started calling Gordon my recovery brother. There's a whole story. For me, he's like an annoying recovery brother who steals the remote all the time. And he pushes every single one of my buttons. And I'm often convinced he is wrong, more than half the time. But I know that at the end of the day, I can call him when life falls apart, because I have. Many of you probably have too. These are my stories about the times that Gordon has taught me leadership, but I know you all are thinking about the times he's done it for you, and the times that he's done it for this movement. I think about the times about quiet leadership, about a time when our organizer was struggling. He didn't issue a press release. He didn't hold a meeting. He just showed up with food. That's leadership. And then there was a time he called me annoying, now twice, from the main stage. To be fair, he was not wrong. But Gordon wasn't, he also talked about, in that speech, he talked about how when we agree, we get things done. And he wasn't talking about me and Gordon. He was talking about all of us. He was talking about every single person here in this room and across the state of Maine who are on the front lines of the opiate crisis every single day, the ones that drive people to treatment, the ones who answer the phone at midnight, the ones who help moms get into treatment, the ones who save people's lives through certain service programs and harm reduction programs. He was talking about Governor Mills, about the commissioners. He was talking about every single one of us. He was saying that over the last 8 years, we got shit done. But if there is one thing that I hope Gordon's legacy leaves with us as we go forth into another administration and another opiate summit, because this is not the last, I hope it's not just the policies he helped shape. I hope it's this. Build unlikely friendships. Sit down, have lunch, debate for hours, challenge each other, laugh till you're blue in the face, chase each other around the state house if you have to, keep stealing the remote, and when one of you has the worst day of your life, answer the phone. Because these are the relationships that change us. These are the relationships that build movements. And these are the relationships that have saved lives. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you for every debate, every lesson, every laugh, and every phone call, every family tiff, and every reminder that we can disagree without being disagreeable. Maine is better because of your work. I am better because of our friendship. Okay, one last thing. I have one final surprise. I've only ever gotten away with one of them for Gordon. Your real sister and I, Edie, have been in cahoots for the last couple of weeks, and I would like you to join me up here. Edie and I called a senator who we really, really both love, Senator Angus King. And Angus has sent out a gift to you. This is a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol on May 1st, 2026. That day may not mean anything to you all, but does it seem familiar to you?
What was the day?
May 1st, 2026. It's your father's birthday. And from the Senator, this United States flag was flown over the United States Capitol on May 1st, 2026, to commemorate the 8 years of dedication and impactful service to the people of the state of Maine by Gordon H. Smith, Director of Governor Janet Mills' Office of Opiate Response, with thanks and gratitude from United States Senator Angus King, Jr. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Gordon.